welcome to Shootin' the Breeze. My name is Tanya Kappas, and I am a cozy mystery author who is excited to bring you a fun podcast where we answer reader questions and bring you amazing interviews from your favorite cozy mystery authors. Come, hang out, and let's just shoot the breeze. Hi, and welcome to Shootin' the Breeze. This week, I'm so excited to be introducing you guys, if you don't already know, to Dominique Daoust. She is an author in the Twisty Tales and Cozy Crime, prolific works, promotion. Welcome, Dominique. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited that you're here. And you guys, I have to tell you my country slang hick words. I was like, oh, is it Dominique Daoust? But it's not. It's beautiful. It's Daoust, right? And it's French, she said. So I love that. I love that. I asked, and I love that it's French. It's very chic, which also goes along with her beautiful book cover. My rubies are gone. This is the book that is currently free. So let me go ahead and read your bio. Dominique is the author of the Deadly Exclusives trilogy. She is a journalism graduate from Concordia University in Montreal, Canada. When not reading or writing, she likes to do yoga, drink margaritas, incessantly quote friends, and listen to rap while doing mundane household chores. Well, I love that. I think that is so funny, all of that, like Friends and, you don't look old enough to have watched Friends when it was on. I was. And so it's funny because my kids, they're all in their 20s. They're adult children. And so we have rewatched Friends. And so they're kind of watching Friends, but they don't get all of all of it. They're like, oh, that's kind of weird. But I love that you have that on your bio. And so you live in Canada. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so you've always been Canadian and your whole life lived in Canada, or?
Yes. Well, I was born in Halifax, Nova Scotia, so the East Coast, and my parents are both French Canadians, so on the Quebec side. And so most people speak French and English. And now I live on the Ontario side, but I'm 40 minutes away from the Quebec side, so still very French here.
I love that. And so obviously you have written a historical. Tell us a little bit about the actual, about the series where this comes from and the sleuth and how you got the sleuth in this particular promo.
Yes, so I'll start with my trilogy, The Deadly Exclusives. It's set in 1930 in Montreal, and our sleuth is Rita LaRose, a newbie reporter who kind of gets assigned the boring stories, and she kind of stumbles onto this disappearance that happened at a hotel, and she decides, like, that's going to be my big break, my big story, and she decides to go undercover as a maid, and shenanigans ensue from there.
I love that. And you being a journalist, journalism major, I don't know, were you a journalist at any point?
Not fully, no, unfortunately.
Well, but that's okay, because obviously you used your background and your education to craft this character. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. And also the name is my grandmother's name too. So there's a nod there, and there's a lot of me in her. And also my first job was as a maid at a hotel. So I drew a lot from that as well.
Oh yeah, because I bet there's a lot of secrets that could be held.
Ooh, I can tell you a lot about being a maid.
I bet you could. You just write about it and we'll read about it. Okay, so tell us about the actual sleuth in this particular work of My Rubies Are Gone.
So our main character is Simone Gray, and she is a supporting character in the Deadly Exclusives. She's actually the one that kind of spills the beans about the disappearance at the hotel to Rita LaRose from the Deadly Exclusives trilogy. And I got the inspiration for her from like a bunch of the sass mouth dames, I guess, from the 30s movies. There's always some sort of rich kind of lady who walks around in all her pearls and jewels and kind of doesn't give a hoot about everyone. And she was really fun to include in the trilogy. And then when I found out about this promo, I was like, I really want to write more about her. She's too fun. So I kind of went off of that, and it's basically about her social circle. There's some jewel thieves kind of worming their way in there and stealing all their jewels. And she tries to investigate to everyone's annoyance.
Well, let's read the description for My Rubies Are Gone. Simone Gray is living the high life in 1920s Ottawa. Her main priorities are shopping, vacationing, and attending snazzy social events with her latest husband. But when a string of jewel robberies hits close to home, Simone finds herself playing the role of nosy detective, much to her friend's annoyance. Will she uncover who is behind these robberies before her social set is made the laughingstock in town? And after all, what are these high hats supposed to do without their jewels? Mm-hmm. So I have to ask, since Simone was a secondary character in your trilogy, did readers just love her, or did she speak to you when this opportunity came up, or what was it that made you pick her?
It's kind of a combination of both. A lot of people that have read it have been like, oh, she's so fun, and like the more kind of straight to the point one who kind of doesn't care how she comes across or what she's saying. And I guess I'm not a lot like that. So it's good to kind of channel that energy in that character. Like maybe I need to be a little bit more like Simone. And exactly for the promo, I was thinking she'd be a really fun side story to bring out and to draw from her life.
So I have to ask, will we see more Simone after Prolific Works is over in her own story?
I definitely won't say no to that. I'm all for, exploring more of her life. And she had like 5 husbands. So, we can go through all the husbands and talk about her life.
I love that. I think that's hysterical. And, I think it's funny because when we do write a secondary character, especially someone that our readers love, it's so tempting to be like, oh, I could write a whole series on this character too. So I didn't know if maybe you were kind of going in that direction. You never know where our minds go, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I love that. And so right now, you can get this book, My Rubies Are Gone, for free until September of this year. And while you're because I'm sure, just like me, Dominique, after that is going to sell it. It's not going to be free. So right now is the time to grab it. But also while you're over there, you get the opportunity to join Dominique's newsletter. So can you tell us a little bit about your newsletter?
Yes. So it's a monthly newsletter. And I basically give a few tidbits about what's a fun thing going on in my life. I talk about what I'm reading. I also mention, obviously, the promotion we're part of because there's so many books to spotlight. And I talk about my current projects as well.
That's awesome. So you guys make sure that you also sign up for her newsletter, and all the links will be in the show notes here. So everybody will have all the links. And lastly, I was going to ask really quick, do you have anything to say to readers while you're here?
That's a good question. I mean, if you're obsessed with the 30s like me, I welcome you to read My Rubies Are Gone and the Deadly Exclusives trilogy. Yeah.
And so you have another series too, right?
I'm working on another series that's going to come out in February. It's called the Silver Screen Coven series. And the first book, Hollywoodland Magic, is coming out February 20th.
And is that also set in the 20s and 30s or different?
It's set in 1932 Hollywood at MGM Studios, and it's about witches.
Fancy. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes, I had fun writing it.
I love it. And where can we find you?
Well, I have my website, which is I'm gonna try not to say it in French Canadian, so DominiqueDaoustAuthor.com. Right. And I'm also on Facebook. I have an author page, Instagram, and it's all basically my name. And I also am on TikTok. I think I'm funny, so go check my videos out. My writing assistants, my cat Chandler and my dog Harlow, feature prominently in the videos.
We love fur babies.
Yes.
I love that. And thank you so much for being here. We're just so glad to have you today. So everybody go right now and grab My Rubies Are Gone and get lost in this really cool cozy mystery era piece. Thanks so much for being here, Dominique.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
What a fun interview. I would love to thank today's guest for sharing with us their edition in the Twisty Tales and Cozy Crime Prolific Works giveaway, year-long giveaway. So be sure to grab this episode's book for free, and you can do that by going to the show notes and grabbing that link. And also, don't forget to be sure that you follow and stalk this week's Spotlight author. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week on Shooting the Breeze.